welcome back to my channel. My name is Cinnamon Wolfe. I am a private photo editor and business coach for photographers and small creative business owners, and I love all things Squarespace. So in today's video, I am going to show you how to quickly create a page in Squarespace using a function that a lot of people don't know that you should use in order to create pages to make it much easier for you. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up this template. So I am actually going to create the page on the 5 template. I have pulled that up right here. So you'll see this is just the basic 5 template after it's been installed. And we are going to go through building a brand new page in the 5 template so you can see kind of how this works. Now, a lot of people have trouble sometimes putting things next to each other, like images and text, in a more dynamic way. A lot of people get stuck in just creating pages from top to bottom. So let's go ahead and create a brand new page. I'm going to create it in the not linked section down here. So I'm going to just create a page. And you're going to see, as typical with all Squarespace sites, that it's going to ask you if you want to use a starter layout. And these are very helpful, if the page that you're trying to design fits into one of these different designs. But let's just start from blank with nothing in it. So we're just going to title this page Test Page. And we're just going to click Start Editing. So this will get us right over to the page to start editing. Now it's a little confusing on the 5 template because you have this huge banner image that's kind of taking up all this room. What we're going to do is we are going to just scroll down here to the bottom to the actual page content, which is what's highlighted right here. Now also on the 5 template, every single page loads up with one sidebar already loaded onto the page. We'll change that in just a little bit. But the first thing we're going to do is we are going to insert some spacer blocks. So what we're going to do in this page, so let me just back up a second. So a lot of people just start building things, right? Like they'll start typing, hello, welcome to my website, etc. And then maybe they'll put an image down here, and then maybe below the image, they'll put a line, and then maybe they'll put another image, and they really want to put an image like next to this, but they don't know how to do that. And so then they just get stuck in this loop of just building a page down this way. But we're going to look at a different way to do this. So I'm going to go ahead and delete these elements. And I'm going to delete this. And I'm going to delete this text box. So I am going to start with some spacer blocks. So spacer blocks are a great way to kind of build out your page before you actually add anything to them. And let me show you why. So I'm going to go ahead and include another spacer block, and I'm just going to drag this block right next to this one. Now you'll see these black lines that come up are super helpful for you to understand where that item that you're dragging would actually land. So it can be a little tricky sometimes. You want to make sure that it's right in that right spot. Otherwise, so if I go here, it's going to go over the entire thing like this. And then if I went, it's actually not going to let me do it on this example, but I'll show you in another example. And if I added another spacer block next to that, then you're going to see, then we're going to have some sizing things going on. So I'm actually going to click and drag this way, and you can see that now they've evened out. Now, if I wanted to put another spacer block, let's put it in between here. You can see we're still going to have some sizing issues. So if I go over this way and then go over this way, now I don't think they're quite even. Actually, 4 might not show evenly on this page until I take this away. So those are some things to think about. It's helpful, to drag some things around and to see, kind of what happens as a result of dragging things around the page. So what we're going to do before we go any further is I'm going to go take this sidebar out. So we're actually dealing with an entire page. So we are going to do that in the page settings. So I'm going to click on this gear icon. And you'll see here under page layout that this says one sidebar. We're going to go ahead and select full width. And that will take that sidebar out. Again, that's only specific to the 5 template. If you're on a regular template, you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so I'm going to go back and click on this page content. I'm going to click edit. And you can see the spacer blocks that I've added in here. We have one big one at the top and then 3 at the bottom. So you can already see that this is kind of building out to look kind of interesting. So let's say I wanted to include a text box up here, and then maybe I want to include an image here. It's got some spacers around it. And then we have another full text box down here. Let's say I wanted to put an image here. And then let's say I even wanted to put some text on the side of this image right here. So let's just see what it looks like. Header, tagline. And then I'm going to center that. And I'm going to click heading 1. And then we have just a spacer block, which here's another fun trick. If you click on the spacer block and you click this little circle, you can drag and make those larger or smaller. So interesting little trick there. Let's actually move this down. We'll move this down, and then let's add sample text. Can't type today. That's fine. Sample test. Let's put those in the middle, make those header 3. And then let's put a button. Hello. We'll make that small. Let's put a button over here too. Hello. Small. And then we could even put an image here. In here. So you can see that if you use spacer blocks to start out with, you can create some really dynamic things on a page. That's not just straight down the page. So let's actually put some images in here so we can see what this actually looks like. I'm just going to use some general stock images that I have just so we can see. We'll upload that. I'm going to show you one other fun trick, especially with images. This one actually works perfectly because it's a portrait image, but let's do a couple of non-portrait images here. I don't think I resized these, so they're probably a little too large, but that's okay. It's not a real page, so we'll wait till that's done, and then we'll add another image here. Let's do this one. So you can already see that, you know, the page itself is building out to be a little bit more interesting and a little bit more designed than if you just go from top to bottom. So for this image, let's take a look at this. So if we don't want this image to be this big, we can simply take the image box with this circle down here and drag it to become smaller. Let's actually make it this small. But let's say we no longer like the positioning that this image has, you know, taken since we made it smaller. So what you can do on this image block right here, you see this focal point, you can move that around and that will change, you know, within reason, what's actually showing on the image based on how you move it. So let's move that a little bit more and let's move this up a little bit more. Let's go right there. And then we also are going to hide this caption, and let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's make that a little bit bigger. Let's move this around this way. And I kind of like the placement of that one. And one other thing I think I want to do is put a line right here and right here. Okay, let's see what that looks like. So what we can do after we've done that is that we can just maximize our page and we can see what it looks like. So we can see here that just by doing a few things with some spacer blocks, some lines and just some buttons and just various things. Oh, that's funny. We've just created a more dynamic page than just a, you know, front or top to bottom sort of page. So again, if you are looking to build out more of a dynamic page that's based on a design that you have in your head that doesn't come with just a generic page starter, you can do this very easily through spacer blocks, and you can change, you know, the sizes of a lot of things just by clicking and dragging around the page and then moving things. So here's another example of where you need to pay attention to where you're moving something. So if I move this and I see that line right there, it's going to put it right next to that. So that's important to know. And then down here, if I want it right above this, you know, I have to make sure that that line is clicked right there and not the whole line, because that's going to change where the image actually ends up. So really important to know when you're clicking and moving things around the page, to pay attention to that line and where that line is showing, so that you know where something is actually being moved on a page. Now I just created a big old mess by doing that, so don't pay attention to what I just did. But again, it's just a helpful thing to know where that black line is popping up, so you can see where that item is actually being moved to. Okay, so I hope you found that helpful. This should help you to create a page a little bit more dynamically with some of the tools that are included within Squarespace already. Okay, I hope you had a great day, I did hope you had a great day, but I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it, go ahead and give it the thumbs up, give it a like. And I would love it if you would subscribe and maybe even click that notification bell, so every time I upload a new video, you get notified. And I hope you have a great day and have fun with your Squarespace site. Bye.